Hey everyone, Presito here. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 2023 recap. So I'm going to be covering what's happened this year in terms of crypto highlights and things like that, how the trends have gone, sentiment change and things like that. I'm also going to be talking later in the video about some lessons that I've learned personally throughout this year and things I recommend you guys to keep in mind for next year. And I think it's really important stuff. And I do recommend you guys stay tuned for this video. I think it's always good to keep in mind these things, and if you are new to crypto especially, because then you can learn things that I had to learn without having to experience them. So I think that could be very valuable. So let's start off with what's happened this year from January. So January, the market was actually pretty okay and projects started to show some signs of life. And in April, actually, PEPE kicked off meme season, which lasted quite a while, a month or so, and some people made some insane gains from that. I can't say I'm an expert in meme coins, and I do see it as kind of gambling. So personally, I didn't do too pro that season. So in terms of my morale, it was pretty down during April. And also the fact that I did buy PEPE, I actually bought $5,000 worth of it at 1 million market cap. And I always tell the story to make people feel better, because I sold it at 3 million market cap. I got a nice 3x and I was like, damn, that's pro gains. I can't believe it. And then obviously you guys know what happened. It went to 1.6 billion market cap. And that was really tough to deal with for a few weeks. But eventually I got over it and I realized it's going to happen to everyone. And I should actually be grateful I managed to find it and buy it, so that for the future, I know I'm able to find these and focus on how I found it and how I bought it. And that lesson actually did help me, because I managed to find some other things that made me pro gains. So that's something to keep in mind. Then also there was Telegram bot hype. That actually picked up quite a lot with my Bot, Banana Gun, and all those type of bots that did very well. And that kind of kickstarted the season where people were focusing on tools, which I really liked, because that was kind of during the bear market and people could focus on what could help you to do well in the bull market. And I think people that did that now are doing really well. That's one of the lessons I'll talk about later on. But that was an interesting season, the Telegram bot hype. Then in May is when the SRC20 minting happened. And that's also when ordinals were taking off, BRC20s. Around that time, around May, is when they were doing very, very well. But between May and November, they pretty much died. BRC20s and SRC20s, there was no volume. I would say obviously SRC20s died more than BRC20s, since they were relatively newer and so on. So things weren't looking great in terms of that. But personally, I held on hope. I saw the potential in it and I held. And obviously that's paid off. And I'm sure it did for anyone else who got in that. So I'm happy for you guys for that. And then obviously BRC20s went insane after that, and I'll talk about that soon. Then from May till November, the market was really bad. It was kind of peak bull market where most coins were bottomed in price. And near end of October and November is when the market started doing really well again and things were picking up. Obviously, you have to be careful, because you look at it, things start going up. In January, things did the same. Token started going up. You could think maybe it's a bull market coming, you buy, and then you just get wrecked. So you have to really monitor the sentiment very carefully and the trends, and just be careful not to get caught like in January if you aped a lot of things. So since then, obviously the market's been really pro, and also in October, November, GROK kicked off the meme season again, and legit projects after that started to moon. Obviously the way the sentiment goes, the way I've seen it this year, is that it starts off with meme season, people just aping degen memes, kind of gambling, and then it shifts over to legit projects, and then after that it shifts over to pre-sales, since people are looking for new projects and all the legit ones have already mooned. So I think that's the kind of cycle that you have to follow, and that I followed this year, and it's paid off quite well, especially with finding that launchpads are going to be taking off early. I made a video on launchpads early November. Anyways, let's talk about December, which has been really pro month. In December, BRC20s, SRC20s flying like crazy. Obviously with Binance listing BRC20s, picking up all the hype. And then after BRC20 FUD, with the Binance dev saying, the PTC dev saying that it might get pruned, SRC20 started pumping, especially with OKX covering them and other significant people in the space. and then tons of inscriptions popping up everywhere. So there's been a lot of different trends this year, a lot of people looking for new things, which is why I think pre-sales will start pumping again, since those are new projects. People are going to be looking at those for the gains coming up. Obviously, launchpads have been doing super pro, and because of this reason, and I foresaw this sentiment coming, in October I started aping quite big into pre-sales, and I've been covering that in my groups and on my videos. And especially this month and last month, November, December, I've been aping quite big into pre-sales and private sales. And I think the liquidity from the market will go from memes and legit projects. People making tons of profits of that are going to look into pre-sales. So that's why I'm really bullish on that. And I think January, February, early next year will be pre-sale season. It already is kind of this month with projects launching and doing really pro. And I did make that video in November covering launch pads, and all of them have done pretty well. I picked up a couple and they've been doing really well. I'm still holding them because I think they're going to be doing even better in the coming year. For example, like Polkasata, Paid Network, and so on. And that's why I'm saying pre-sale season is upon us and is already on us, so to speak. And I think legit projects will keep doing really well, and I think GameFi will also do really well specifically. I'm really bullish on GameFi. Posted about this a lot on all my channels. So that's a rough overview of the year, that how it's gone, what's been pro. And I think it's important to do a recap and just talk about what's happened and how it happened and lessons learned. So now I'm going to be talking about the lessons that I personally learned, and I'm going to start off with the best one. And the best decision I've made personally is working super hard during the bear market when everyone gave up, and finding opportunities that can print in the bull market like SRC20. And I really think if you grind while everyone else has given up, then you're bound to make it. And obviously it's tough to say that, because during the bear market, obviously the best thing to do is not invest, because you're pretty much going to lose everything. If you're aping meme coins, if you're aping just anything, new tokens, pre-sales, you're going to get wrecked, obviously. But I do think being active in the bear market is super important. And I think that was definitely my best decision. And I'm saying this in terms of the future. If a bear market does come, don't give up, stay active. And in the coming bull market after that, you will definitely reap the rewards. For example, what do you do in the bear market if it comes again? And what did I do in the previous bear market to now be ahead of others in terms of connections, new tools, opportunities, and so on? Those are the things that I think are important to focus on during a bear market. Connections is definitely number one, being in good Telegram groups, and people definitely remember who was active in the bear market and they side by you and they remember you. That is very important. Also, finding good tools and focusing on building your knowledge in terms of navigating wallets, learning how to use MyAstrobot to its maximum capabilities. Things like that will set you ahead in the bull run, because you already know how to do these things and others don't. So while they're learning, you can focus on finding the opportunities in the bull run and print. And obviously, network is your net worth. Sounds super cringy, but that is very true. I think it's really the most important in crypto, in my opinion. If you have really good connections, you'll get access and opportunities to pretty much everything you want to. So definitely work on that. That is super important. And that comes with being in good Telegram groups, being active, making friends, and everything like that. That is with my next lesson, which is give and take. That if you learn to add value to others, and then they will give it back. So you offer help to people and then they offer to you. It's very simple, but that is super important and what's helped me a lot. Then another lesson that I did learn, that's an interesting one because people take it differently, obviously, is with taking profits. That obviously it's good to take profits on the way up. And you also have to understand the market trend and how much potential things can have before selling. So it's a really interesting one, but the point is you can't regret taking profits, but you can regret not selling. So if you take profits, it's profits, you can't be mad. But if you don't sell and you lose your money, then you can regret and be mad. So I definitely think taking profits on the way up is the smart thing to do. Another thing I would highly recommend is to explore all avenues in crypto in terms of what your focus is going to be on, but focus on one or two things. For example, for me, I focus a lot on pre-sales. That's my main focus, I would say. and now it's also shifted to the BTC ecosystem. Those are two things I really try to be the best at and focus on as much as I can, and that puts you ahead of most people. Obviously, if you focus on everything, you're not going to be all that good at all of them unless you do it as a full-time job. But even as a full-time job, like for me, I do crypto as a full-time job, and I still only focus on these two things. I wouldn't even say crypto is a full-time job. I really enjoy it. It's just, yeah, I wouldn't call it a job. But anyways, I definitely recommend you guys to focus on two things, whether it's, I know people that focus on even meme coins and just focusing on researching them and finding the pro ones. And the people that do that I know are really good at it and they make gains with it. Also, you can do pre-sales. You can focus on airdrops. You can focus on being a KL manager for projects. There's so many things that you can do in crypto that you can focus on to make pro gains. That's definitely some advice. And then lastly, some very important advice that might actually save some of you in the coming bull run that I've learned, and I hope I've learned because it's happened to me many times, is that there will be a time that comes in the bull market that you're going to look at your portfolio and you're going to be euphoric. I actually tweeted this recently, and you're going to look and think, damn, these gains are pro. And then all you can think in that moment, and it's really tough to snap out of it, is you're going to be thinking, damn, imagine how much more I can make with things being so good. But that is normally the time you should consider selling at least some. And if you do have a moment like that in the future, just remember me in this video saying, take some profits, mate, because you can change your life hopefully with that. And you will definitely regret not selling and being wrecked and thinking back to what could have been. So definitely remember that for the future. Hopefully I'll help some of you guys, and keep some anyway. So if it keeps mooning, you can't be mad because you still have tokens. So that wraps up my video. Also, for me, a personal goal this year was to reach 20,000 on YouTube, and I got pretty close. So I'm quite happy with that. Hopefully in January, I can reach 20,000 subscribers. I'm close to 10K on Twitter, which was my goal for the end of this year. Didn't reach that, unfortunately. But again, hopefully in a few weeks, I can reach that. And Telegram, actually, funny enough, is the hardest to grow. I'm trying to get to 5,000 and I'm on 4.6K. So I don't know, maybe end of next year, because Telegram, it's too many bots that join, ban, and the numbers just fluctuate like crazy. But these are my personal goals for hopefully the next month or two. If you can subscribe, that really help me. I really hope to reach that. Hopefully this video was helpful and informative for you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys next year.